Mr. Ramirez, may you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is Robert Ramirez. My friends call me Bobby.
Bobby. May I call you Bobby, sir?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Bobby, how long have you lived in Chicago?
All my life.
All your life. And before we get into that, I guess, Bobby, why, in your own words, are we here?
Well, I really believe that I have been served an injustice by the Chicago police. I have lost so much. I was accused of attempted murder. I got off of that, and the subsequent problems that came from that case. I'm unable to work. I was shot in the back, and my wife has since died. I think from the stress of everything, it just led to it. My son, he's 11. He's going to grow up without a mother.
Hmm.
I can't play catch with him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all at the hands of the Chicago Police Department.
Hmm. So, you mentioned that there was a previous criminal case. You're indicted for attempted murder, is that correct?
I was.
And why? Well, what was the outcome of that case?
I got simple, and I forget the terms of the legal system.
Will this refresh your memory? It says simple assault.
Yeah, it was brought
Is that
down.
true?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, when they accused me of attempted murder of a police officer, shooting me in the back.
Okay, we'll get to that a little further down the line, Bobby. So you had a previous case that was reduced from a attempted murder to simple assault. Why not just leave it there? Why not just say, I'm done. I'm fine.
Because it's not right. I'm not guilty. I shouldn't have been charged in the first place. But it's stripped my life of everything that I've known and everything that I've loved. My wife, my child, growing up with one parent who's unable to do the things that a dad should be able to do for his son.
Okay. Well, thank you for that introduction, Bobby. Let's begin with how long have you been a Chicagoan?
26 years.
All your life.
All my life.
All your life. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And you grew up in what neighborhood?
The Humboldt Park area.
Okay, Rogers Park.
Right. Rogers Park. Rogers Park.
And you went to school at Joyce Kilmer and Sullivan High School. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so Rogers Park isn't too far away from here, and you moved to Humboldt Park. Now, how long ago do you know? Estimate?
It was about 8 years ago.
Okay, and so you live in Humboldt Park, and is it in Humboldt Park where the incident took place?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, in that area.
Right in my general neighborhood.
Okay, and what street was this on that it took place? Do you remember?
It was Evergreen.
Evergreen. Okay. And why don't you take us through that night? What were you doing prior to observing Officer Waldman and Officer Levy's vehicle? What were you doing that night? How did the night begin? Take us to that
Beginning
point.
of the night?
Yes, and if you will, take us as if you're there now, present tense.
Okay. All right.
You are what?
I'm a Chicagoan.
You're
I'm a
Chicagoan.
Chicagoan. And we're all watching the Bulls game, on TV.
Who is we?
I went over to a friend's house.
You are over.
Yeah, forgive me. I'm at my friend's house, Louie's house. Joey, my friend's also there. And we're watching the Bulls game. I think it started around 6 o'clock or so. And just having a great time.
Did you bring any alcohol?
Yeah.
Did you drink any alcohol?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Continue on. You are drinking alcohol. You are having a beer, one?
It was just a couple of beers. I bought a six-pack.
You bought a six-pack?
Yeah,
okay.
and split it with my two friends. So just drank a couple of beers while watching the game.
Okay. And then after that, you are doing what?
Well, after the game, we thought we'd we'd head over to Louis' house and go play some cards.
Okay.
So went over there.
Okay, but I thought you were at Louis' house. Aren't you at Louis' house watching the game?
Yes, I'm sorry. That's where we went. And you're talking about after the game.
Yeah, after the game.
Yeah.
So you're at Louis' house
Yeah.
watching the game, and now you're playing cards.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you're
We're playing cards for
Right.
a while, a couple hours, I think, and then after that we decided to go out to the bar.
Okay.
And get a couple of drinks.
All right. And
Yeah.
do you know the approximate time this occurred at?
I'm thinking it was probably around. I I'm not. I think it was around.
Well, can we refresh your memory here?
Yeah.
It says you went to the bar approximately around 2 o'clock. So you went to the bars a little earlier than that, and you went to 2 bars. It says here.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
it was before. Where did I have it
Two
here?
bars. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And
yeah.
and how many drinks did you have in those 2 bars during that time? Let's say.
4 or 5.
Okay, you do remember that?
Yeah.
4 or 5 what?
Yeah. 4 or 5 drinks.
4 or 5 particular drinks? Do you need help if you're
Vodka and water.
Okay.
Water and vodka,
the
I think
record
it was.
states Scotch and water.
Scotch
Is that
and
correct?
water. Yeah.
Okay, Scotch and water.
Yeah.
Okay. Now at this time, about what time is it now? After you've drank and now you're leaving the bar.
It's
What's
around
happening?
2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, and we know that because most bars close at 2 in the morning.
Oh, that's
Is
true.
that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. They're
Okay.
closing right around that time.
Okay. And did you go home at this time?
No, I was feeling pretty good. My friends and I were feeling pretty good, and it was a beautiful night,
Uh-huh.
clear night, and so we.
Cold night is December
Yeah.
6th, correct?
Yeah,
Cold,
but it was clear, and I was feeling pretty good, and we kind of wanted to go do a little running around at the park. We like to go running and
kind of
competitive.
just
run
remembering
around the bases
remembering times
and-
with friends, correct?
That is correct. Yeah. And it's just a matter of we get competitive and we want to just go there and have some races around the park so you can have bragging rights,
Got it.
that kind of thing.
Got it. So enjoying the night out with your friends. The
Indeed.
entire night.
Entire night. Yeah.
All right. Very, very good. And then after you're done racing at the park, and I think the record states that was Wicker Park.
Yeah.
Is that correct? So
That
after stating at Wicker Park, then you take us through what happens next.
Well, it's like 4 in the morning. I'm ready to go home. So my car is over at Louis' house. So we hop in the car and we drive over to Louis. Just pick up my car, and I'm heading home.
Do you remember the route you took home?
I think that I think I was going down Western Street and then headed over to Division.
Okay. So you're heading home on the record states you're heading home on North. Was that correct? Or do you want to
No, I think there's a little jog in the road from North, but a lot of times when I'm going that route, I'll either take Western or I'll take California, one or the other. They're both like main roads
So
to go down.
do you remember the exact route you took home that night?
That night I did go down Western.
You do remember that?
Yeah. A lot of times because I switch it up. I go back and
Okay.
forth.
The earlier record on your deposition says you went north. You went on North. Is that not correct?
Yeah, that's not correct. I kind of misrepresented myself there. I was nervous at the time.
Uh-huh.
But again, these are two like main streets that go down. And that night I did take Western down and headed on over to Division.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're taking Western down, and when did you first notice this Chevy Caprice?
Well, I made a right hand turn onto California,
Mm-hmm.
and he was right in front of me, and he was just dogging it.
Explain dogging it for the jury. What
Oh,
does dogging
it's
mean?
like, okay, you got the speed limit, but the guy's going like 20 miles per hour below the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously drunk, or at least seems like he is. He's blocking traffic. It's like, come on, man, speed up. This is a road where you got to go the speed limit. You're blocking everybody. Not that there's anybody out at that time of night, but I'm so sick and tired of people coming into my neighborhood driving drunk, trying to make the place a worse place, risking the lives
Understandable.
of families, my family for that matter. And, this guy's just it just infuriated me that this guy would be driving
so
like that.
this vehicle, was it swerving?
It was. I did want to get past it at one point, and it was swerving around, blocking me from passing it. So yeah, it was. It was driving slow, swerving.
What is in your mind at this point?
I'm thinking it's another drunk, ready to cause a problem in my neighborhood. Make things worse for the people around here, injuring somebody, injuring my family, injuring my friend's family. I want this guy out of here.
And explain for the jury once again. You are behind this car at this point. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm behind him,
and you're trying to pass.
I'm trying to pass him. I put on my blinker,
and he swerves to you to not allow you to pass. Is that correct?
Well, no, yeah, in a sense, I put on my blinker and I change over to the left-hand side of him to go around him, and he swerves over.
And you are heading which direction on California? You are on California, is that correct?
I'm on California.
And which direction are you heading on California?
I'm heading north on California Street.
You're heading north on California.
Yeah.
Okay, fairly wide street as I understand it.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Like I say, that's one of the main roads that come down, and I sometimes take that road to go down, or sometimes I take Western. So they're both, I get them kind of mixed up whether I'm going which one or the other.
So then so you're unable to pass this car, and then do you continue on down California and the other car turns off, or do you continue to follow this vehicle?
Well, I'm following him. He won't let me get around. Obviously, he's being a jerk. But I'm going to go down. I'm going to make a right-hand turn on Evergreen. He does it first. He's right in front of me. So I'm right on his tail.
So both vehicles make a right-hand turn on Evergreen.
Both make a right-hand turn.
Is Evergreen a one-way street?
It is.
It is a one-way street.
Yeah.
Is it very wide? Is it as wide as California? Is it a main thoroughfare?
No. It's a thinner street. Cars are parked on both sides.
Neighborhood street?
Yeah.
Houses on either side of the street?
Houses on both sides of the street.
Okay. Okay. Unlike California, where I think on California the park is on the other side. Is that correct?
Park is on the left. It's a wider street.
Correct.
Cars come in both directions. Okay. Passing lanes,
Okay. And then heading down Evergreen, take us through that.
He finally, I want to get around him, but he finally pulls over. I'm so ticked at these idiots.
Your blood's boiling.
Oh yeah, these idiots driving around,
drunk drivers
trying to block me or swerve. Either he's trying to block me from getting where I want to go, or he's just swerving and he's too blitzed to even know, which way is up, which way is down. And so I was just furious with these idiot drivers. He finally pulls over.
Who stops first?
He stopped first.
He stops first.
Yeah.
Do you continue on?
No, I pulled up right next to him.
Let me interrupt you for a moment. Why didn't you continue on? Why couldn't you just let the situation lie and head on home?
You don't know what it's like to live in a neighborhood where you want things to get better for you and your family. You want things to be safe, and yet you see idiots like this driving around all the time. There's a point where...
How do you characterize his driving?
Erratic. It's reckless.
Reckless.
Yeah. You get tickets for driving too slow down the freeway, tickets for driving too slow down roads. This guy's blocking traffic, going like 10, 20, 30 miles per hour under the speed limit.
Is reckless driving dangerous driving?
It is dangerous. If you're asking me, yeah, it's dangerous.
Okay. So you have this reckless, dangerous driver that was in front of you. I mean, behind you. You were behind it. It was in front of you. You both turn on Evergreen, one-way street, neighborhood street. He stops first. You stop next to him?
Oh, yeah.
Did you pull in front of him at all?
No.
Did you angle your car in and so you wouldn't allow him to pass?
No. I pulled up right next to him.
You pulled up next to him. Was there room enough for him if he wanted to leave to drive on?
Yes.
There was.
Absolutely.
Okay. At this point, do you get out of the car? Or does he get out of the car? Or you both stay in the car?
I'm yelling at him, and I get out of the car, and...
Who gets out of the car first?
I got out of the car first. No, we got... Well, I say that, but we both got out of the car at the same time.
Okay. You both got out at the same time. And what is your intention getting out of the car?
blood is boiling, so I wasn't thinking too far ahead, but I wanted to let this guy know that he is an idiot, didn't belong on the road. He needed to stop. And
do you have a knife in your hand at this point?
No.
You don't have a knife?
No.
What do you have in your hands?
Nothing.
Nothing in your hands?
Nothing in my hands.
So you're angry, you have nothing in your hand, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Where do you pull? Where do you get to his car door? Is that right? You get to his car door, or does he get to your car door?
I come around the front side of my car and I meet him
the front side of your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I come out, open my door. He's got his door open. We come out, I guess, at the same time. I'm running around the front of my car and going up to him, and I'm just yelling at him, telling him what
your intent is. Tell me again. What is your intent? Empty hands.
Well, my empty hands, yes, of course. My intent is just to tell him what an idiot he is. I mean, you know what that's like when you get infuriated.
And for what purpose are you telling him what an idiot?
Well, get him off the road. Get him out of our neighborhood where he's going to hurt somebody, some kid, some family. Me, for that matter, driving recklessly on the road. This is my intent, to get him to stop being such a bad citizen.
And then did you hit him?
Not right away. No.
Not right away. Explain to me
what
happened.
No, the next thing that happened, we were like at the front of the car. I'm yelling at him. He just wails on me all of a sudden. His right hand comes over, nails me in the side of the head, right here on my left side. I'm just...
Have you ever been hit in the side of the head before, Bobby?
No.
Never been hit in the side of the head. How did that feel? What does that feel like? Because I've never been hit in the side of the head either. I don't know if any of our jurors have to actually know what it feels like to get hit in the side of the head.
It's hard to explain, but when you get hit in the head, it's a mixture of emotions. The emotions just all of a sudden flare, but beyond that, it's this shock. It's this shock that you've been hit in the head hard like that. You're starting to black out. You see this flash, and you can't believe this is happening. I've never been hit in the head. I'm getting hit in the head by this adult, this idiot.
Is it fair to say then that you're not thinking rationally at this point? Is that fair?
I was rational. I wanted to take him down, but...
Well, rational, I mean, you're not thinking, should I hit him back? Should I not? What are the consequences if I do? How are you responding? Is it just instinct, or is it something else going through your head?
It's that fight or flight thing. As soon as you get hit hard like that, if you can stay conscious, you're just starting to swing, and you're just throwing punches right and left, and we got tangled up.
So for you to respond in such a way after being hit in the head with a closed fist, that was reasonable?
For me to respond?
Yes. In the way that you...
Yes. Okay. It was reasonable. You almost can't even help it. You get hit in the head like that.
And you didn't have a knife in your hand?
No knife.
Okay. And then after you were hit, you responded, and you hit back, and then take us through the struggle, the ensuing struggle.
Then it became, this street fighting. We're slugging it out. We're up against his car. We're just tangled up, and it's like we're in slow motion. As I think back, it's like we're kind of rolling down along the side of the car.
Towards the front or the back?
Well, we started at the front, and then we're just kind of rolling back down towards the end of the car. Okay. Like at the end, I got him up against his car at the end of his car, and we're still slugging it out there. And
did he fall down? Or did you fall down first?
I took him down first, right at the end of the car.
So, this individual, you do not know at this moment this is a police officer. Is that correct?
No.
You had no indication that this was a police officer, that you are now
thug. This is a thug.
He's a thug.
I'm sitting there yelling at him.
That's what you viewed in front of you, a thug.
That's what he was. He just
hit you.
Hits me out of the blue. I'm yelling at him, telling him he's a horrible driver. He's ruining the neighborhood, and he hits me out of the blue. He's a thug.
Okay. So now this thug, as you call him, is he standing up or is he on the ground? You're in the back of the car.
We're at the back of the car. I got a good hit in him, and he went down to the back. You know, he's down with his back against his car. He's down on the ground at that point. I step back a little bit to realizing I win.
Okay.
I took this thug down.
How are you feeling at that moment? Are you still aggressive with him? Are you continuing? Do you continue to attack him while he's on the ground?
No. It's once you take him down, it's like, you know, you realize you won. What are you supposed to do? Keep on going?
So,
no,
you did not pursue a down thug on the ground. He was in a vulnerable position, was he not?
He was. I was able to step back and kind of like
and you did
take
not
note of the situation, kind of gain a reflection of what's going on there.
So you took in the circumstances at that point as a rational man.
Indeed. Looking around, stepping back. I'm not going to be hitting him when he's down on the ground. What kind of punk would do that?
You're not a thug.
No. I mean, I guess I was yelling at him, but I had a right to yell at him. He was coming around our neighborhood.
So you did not attack him in a vulnerable position?
No. I stepped back. I was ready to...
Did you notice anything when you stepped back?
I saw another person in his car at that point in time. I'm thinking, great.
Was this the first time you noticed the second individual in the car? And where was this answer the first question, excuse me. Answer the first question.
This is the first time I saw anybody else that I even had a clue that anybody else was out there at after 4 a.m.
And where was he sitting?
He was sitting in the front seat of that car. I'm thinking, great, thug number 2.
So you're kind of prepared at this point for another person to come out at you and attack you. Is that correct? Is that reasonable?
All of a sudden, as I stood back and started reflecting on what's going on, I'm sitting there going like, another guy? I'm thinking, yeah, he's going to come at me. I'm going to be attacked by 2 thugs in the middle of the night.
And then what did you feel at that moment?
Oh, I got slugged in the stomach and I went down.
You got hit in the stomach.
Yeah.
It was so. At that moment, did you know that Levy hit you? Well, let me see. Who hit you? Was that?
It was the guy, thug number 1. I guess Levy, right? That's his name.
At this moment, he is just a thug to you, and thug number 1 hits you in the stomach.
After I finished the fight, I beat him fair and square. He's sitting there and he hits me from below, and I go down. My muscles just crumpled. I felt a shooting pain just go right up inside. I was sick to my stomach. Did you feel
like you were taken advantage of twice?
Well, yeah. I mean, 2 guys.
You got hit in the head once.
I got hit
hit.
He hit me.
And then
first,
and then
he hits me a cheap shot after I already won. And
you were reflective, weren't you?
I was reflective. I was sitting there, ending the fight, and he takes me down after it was over with. And then there's thug number 2.
Did you hit your head on the way down?
Yeah. I've got my head's just killing me because I got smacked from that first punch that thug did, and then as I'm going down, crumpling up in that fetal position, my head hit the bumper on the end of his car.
You're in the rear, so rear bumper.
Rear bumper of his car. Yeah.
And what position are you now in physically? What physical position are you in?
And now I'm down and I'm on my back and my hands and feet are in the air.
You're in pain.
I am in serious pain. I can't move. I don't want to say anything else. I'm just
And what
moaning.
Do you hear at this point? Is this the moment that you first understood them to be police officers?
Yes. He then said...
Who's he? Do you remember who said it?
It was the guy on the ground. I think I called him Levy.
Thug number 1.
Thug number 1. Waldman, I think is his name.
Thug number 2, according to you, is Waldman, who was sitting in the car. Thug number 1 is now Levy. And he says to you,
he says police.
What position is he into you? Is he standing over you at this moment?
He's got his knee against me and he's holding me down and he's saying he's a police officer.
So he's holding you down with his knee. You're on your back.
My hands are like
dirt.
this. And as soon as he said that, Yeah, and as soon as he said police, I let my hands go down to the side. I'm like, okay.
Okay, what does okay mean?
I'm submitting to him. I'm like, police,
You
okay. What am I
submitted.
gonna do?
You
You know?
submitted to now what they purport to be a police officer. At this
Yeah.
moment,
This is the first time
this,
he told me he was a cop.
this was the first time.
Yes.
They never showed their badge in the car. You never saw a badge.
No, it's like saying the first thing he did was slug me in the side of the head. He didn't tell me he was a cop. This is the first time
you
he
inside of the head first time,
exactly,
and then he
then
hit you in the
smacked me in
stomach
the second time,
and then you hit your head the third time.
Yeah, I think of that as my fault, but yeah, I wouldn't have done that if he didn't slug me in that second time going down.
And
Never
after
told me he
all
was a
of that,
cop.
then he says he's a police officer.
Yes.
Let me ask you this: would you have stopped before, in the very beginning, if he showed you his badge at the very
Of
instant?
course.
Came out of the car and said police.
Of course. But I'm. Oh, that would explain the slow driving, right? Okay, that would make sense. That would have clarified everything as
Okay.
I was yelling at him. That would have clarified why he didn't need to hit me in the head, before saying anything.
Okay, and then at this moment, when he says police, and as you said, you're surrendering, you're submitting to the officers,
Yeah.
you're gathering yourself, and you're saying, okay, what did you say?
I submit. I give up.
Did you ask for identification at this moment?
I did ask for identification.
And when you asked for identification, did you notice anything to your right?
That's when I saw 2 feet standing to my right.
So you're behind the car. The car is about positioned right here. You're here, let's say. Here's the passenger side of this Chevy car. You're here. There's a person standing here behind you and to your right. Is
behind
that
me
correct?
and to my right. That's
Okay.
right.
You assume that was probably...
That had to be that guy that I thought was going to be that second thug teaming up on me. It was the guy that was in the front seat of the car.
And at that moment, what happened?
I started getting up, and I
So at this moment, then Levy is now getting off of you. So you're able to get up.
I'm trying to get up, yeah, and then I feel this kick in the back, my back. I feel this kick.
And what did you say?
And I said, "What are you kicking me for?"
So you felt it was a kick.
I thought he kicked me in the back.
Well, what was it? Was it a kick?
He shot me in the back.
He shot you.
He shot me in the back.
You're getting up from the ground.
Yes.
You have nothing in your hands.
I have nothing in my hands. I'm
except
struggling.
the dirt from the ground.
And I'm struggling because I'm still in pain because he slugged me pretty hard in the stomach. I'm feeling it.
And he
terrible.
shot you in the back.
Shot me in the back.
You weren't aggressive at this moment?
No,
You weren't yelling at this moment?
I was moving really slowly at this moment. My back was to this 2-footed monster standing behind me. No.
Did
no
you realize
aggression.
you were shot at that time?
Uh,
Or were you just still under the impression that you were kicked?
Then I started fading away. I started fainting, and I realized I had been shot.
What's the last thing you remember?
I was kind of coming in and out. It's like before you actually faint, I guess. And I heard them say something about what should they do with the body.
And then what do you remember?
Then I just remember lights shining on me when I was in the hospital.
You were transported to Cook County Hospital, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Let me ask you a couple further questions and we'll wrap this up. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
I was born left-handed.
You're left-handed.
Yeah.
Will there anybody testify that says you are not left-handed? Are there any testimony that you know of your friends or family that says you are right-handed?
No, I'm a lefty.
And do you use knives in your profession?
Yes.
What type of knife do you use in your profession? And let me ask you this: what is your profession?
I'm a carpenter.
You're a carpenter.
Yeah.
Okay. And you use knives in carpentry?
Yeah, I do a lot of wall boarding, that type of stuff.
And what is the knife for?
The knife is for cutting the wallboard.
And what does that knife look like?
It's a small knife. It's a utility knife.
Utility knife.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a knife with a 6-inch blade with folding like a switchblade, jackknife type of thing. It's not like that. No wooden handle.
No, it's just a little simple little utility knife that you need to do little cuts on the sheetrock.
And there's no one that can testify that says they've seen you with a jackknife.
Yeah, no.
None of your friends.
No.
Other than the defendants. Okay.
Correct.
And do you speak any languages other than English?
No.
You don't speak any other languages? You don't speak Spanish?
No.
You live in Humboldt Park. It's a fairly strong Puerto Rican community, and you don't speak Spanish?
No. I live in America. I speak English.
Okay. Now tell me, what is your life like now? Are you struggling with the injuries resulting from the bullet to the back?
Well, yeah, I can't work.
You can't work. What do you mean you can't work? You can't go into your carpentry work any longer?
No.
Why not?
I'm in constant pain. I'm having to take medications to just keep the pain away. I'm on disability. I can't do anything. I can't play catch with my son. I can't have my wife play catch with him because she died.
Your wife died?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
And are you struggling with extensive medical bills and extensive rehab from this injury still?
Yes, I can't keep up with the medical bills on this. This is...
So you're struggling with medical bills, you're struggling with injury, physical injury, and you have no capacity to keep a job that you've worked very hard, diligently to keep?
Yeah, and how am I going to raise my son like that?
And you have a 10-year-old son. And your wife has died.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time at the stand.
Thank you.